Hello, 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 champions. This is Coach Lisa Prudy, your millionaire investor, your millionaire realtor, your cash flow queen. And I decided to go live tonight without any notice. So if you're available, please join me. Let's have this quick conversation as to why you have not yet contacted me to buy your first home or to buy your first investment property or to buy even more investment properties. Okay, so I'm going to give you a few minutes here to join me if anybody's available. Good evening. If you could tell me your name and your city, where you're joining me from, I would definitely appreciate that. Again, this is Coach Lisa Prudy. I have not gone live with you guys interactively since the beginning of the year, and I just wanted to do that this time and just as a surprise because I've been trying to plan this, but my schedule wouldn't allow me. So thank you very much for joining. Please give me your name and the city where you're joining me. And tonight, I want to discuss three lies that you tell yourself in order to avoid buying a house. Okay. So please give me your name, your first name, and the city where you're joining me from. I'll just give a few seconds for others to join us and we'll get started. This is going to be recorded, so feel free to join me. To watch this later. It's going to be on my YouTube channel and my Facebook channel, uh, Coach Lisa Prudy. Hello, Anita. How are you? Thank you for joining me. I am sure you don't feel very concerned by the lies that I'm going to talk about today, because you're already on track. You're on the right path. So, but thank you so much for joining. I'm sure there's always something to learn, and that can help you continue on the path that you've already started on. So, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Who else is joining me tonight? It's a surprise live. This one wasn't planned. I'm very tired. It was a long day, but I have not spoken with you guys. I have not communicated with you since 2003. So for some of you, Happy New Year. Sylvie, Shimen, Happy New Year and welcome. I'm going to talk about three lies that you tell yourself to avoid buying a house. So everyone else who is going to join us in the next 2 minutes, it will be 9:05. They will just go ahead and watch the recording, and they can write a comment or contact me, DM me if they have any questions. But if you're live with me, feel free to ask me questions. I can also take you directly on this live and give you a free coaching if you need it. So definitely ask me all your questions. I'm gonna be here for 30 minutes. So at 9:30, I'll be done. I'm very tired. It was a long day. It was my last closing of the month. Anita, yes, definitely, Coach. Life is a learning journey. Absolutely. So thank you for being here. All right. So let's see here. All right, it's 9:04, so I'm going to get started. For those of you who are already here, I'm going to get started. So tonight, I want to quickly talk to you about three lies that you tell yourself in order to avoid purchasing your first house or your first investment property. The first lie that you tell yourself is that your credit score is horrible and no lender can approve you. That's the reason why you've been working on your credit score. So most of you, when I talk to you, you keep telling me, "Oh, coach, I'm working on my credit score. I'm working on my credit score." How long are you going to work on your credit score? At one point, you're going to have to jump. Just so you know, there are lenders out there that are going to take you even with a credit score of less than 600. I have seen people get loans with a credit score of 500, and there are all kinds of loans available for you out there. Some of them are unconventional loans, some of them are non-conforming loans, some of them are entrepreneur loans, so you don't have to have pay stubs or anything like that. So they don't really they even if your credit score is not that good, as long as you have a good bank account showing that you're having money coming in for the past 2 years, you're going to get a mortgage. So the reason that you're giving me when you say, "Oh, coach, my credit score is bad," that is absolutely not a reason. It's a lie. Because if your credit score is even 540, 580, you can still get an FHA loan. That is a government backed loan, right? So with a 580, you can still be financed by an FHA loan. And even if you have less than 580, even at 500, there are banks out there that will still finance a loan. Now, does that mean you're going to have the same rate as everyone else? No. Your rate is going to be a little bit higher because they're going to consider that you're a higher risk because your credit score is not that great. But now what that means is at least you get your foot in the door, and now you work on your credit when you already have a property at hand, right? Because at the end of the day, when you do the math, your purchase, right, the property that you're buying is still going to be profitable as compared to renting. Okay, so if you're renting right now and paying $1,500 for your mortgage, there is a property out there for you where you can spend the same $1,500, but that is going to be your house, even with a terrible credit score. It's just going to be a smaller house, but at least you're going to have a house to start with, and it's going to be your own. Even if it's just 1 bedroom, 1 bath, or 2 bedroom, 1 bath, even if it's not in the city, because everybody wants to be downtown, everybody wants to be in a city. You have to suffer to go a little bit far and drive 30 minutes, 45 minutes if you have to, in order to get to your house, right? As long as you have a house. And that is going to be temporary. By the time you work on your credit and you're ready to go get the house of your dreams, at least you already had a house. And that house has appreciated in the meantime. That's an asset. And so you can put a tenant in your house and start making that cash flow. That's the reason why they call me the cash flow queen. It's because I'm always looking for ways to make some cash flow. When I go to a house, usually when we move into a house, my husband tells my children and everyone else that don't open your bags, don't unpack your things, because we don't know if your mother is going to stay here. While I'm looking for my dream home, I am buying houses. I'm not telling you that where I live right now is my dream home. It's a beautiful home. I love it. I tell everyone about it. I love this house. I can walk to the golf course here. I have beautiful, all the houses here are identical, very, very beautiful houses. Very soon, our houses are going to be valued at $1 million. Okay. So it's a beautiful house, a beautiful neighborhood, safe, everything. But is it my dream home? Not yet. I need that dream home with double staircase and all the 9 yards, right? But in the meantime, I am here and this house is appreciating. I bought this house about a year ago, right? A year ago, I think about December last year. And this house is now valued at about $150,000 more than what I bought it for. That's the reason why I'm telling you, you saying that your credit score is bad as the reason why you're not buying a house, it is a lie. Because you can still buy a house. You're just not going to buy your dream house, but buy a house, buy anything. I don't care what it is. Just buy something. Because even if you stay there just for 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, there is somebody who's going to take it and rent it for you, from you. And you can now move on and your credit is going to be excellent. You're going to buy your dream home. You can now go to the house that you want. But at least you would have made money without doing anything, just living in your house. So that's the first lie that you tell yourself. It's your credit score. And also, lenders out there, they have partnership with companies or consultants that work on the credit score that could help you with your credit score. So if you really have an issue with your credit score, tell your lender that you need help. Is there a consultant that your lender can refer you to? Ask your lender, ask your realtor. Some of us know good consultants out there that can help you. In fact, sometimes you don't even need a consultant. You just need somebody to go over your credit score, your credit report with you. And for example, 90% of the time, the only thing that is killing your credit, it is the high usage on your credit cards. It's your high credit usage. So as long as you can keep your credit usage to 10% or less, or at the most 25% or less, as long as you can get to that level, your credit is going to be good. Now, pay your bills on time, but most of all, do not use too much of your credit. Okay, if your credit card is $1,000, use $100 at the most on that credit card to pay for your phone bill, to pay for your internet or something like that. Put it on automatic payment. Make sure it is paid off every month, but do not use more than $100 on that $1,000 credit card. If you have a $10,000 credit limit on your credit cards, don't use 10,000. Don't go out there and buy all the Louis Vuitton and all the Gucci's and all the Jordans and everything that is new out there. Don't use more than $1,000 out of your $10,000 credit limit, and make sure it is on auto pay. Do not miss your payments. It is going to kill your credit. But again, if your issue is your credit, there are specialists out there that can help you with your credit in a very short period of time. Sometimes you probably don't have enough credit. It's just that, okay, your credit is very young. You just came in the US. Maybe 1 year ago, you just arrived here. 2 years ago, you just got here. So your bills are paid on time. You're only using 10% of your credit card, but your credit score is still low because you're brand new. People, the lenders don't know you much. But here's what you can do. Ask your husband, ask your wife, ask your friend, ask your sister, ask somebody around you. Do they have excellent credit history on one of their cards? Just ask them that. One of my cards, I've been using it for 13 years. 13 years, and it has always been paid on time. And the credit limit on there is about $10,000. I do not use more than 1,000 on that card. So if I were to add my son, my mom, or whoever who does not have a credit score yet, just adding them on my credit card, when I add them, I don't give them the physical card, so they cannot use my card, but they are added on there. So the credit history that I have is they can borrow, they can borrow my credit history. So it's going to look like they have been a credit card holder for 13 years, even though my mom has been in the US for only a couple of years. And my son has not been using a credit card. He just turned 21. He just turned 20 a few months ago, and he will soon turn 21. So, but if I add them on my credit card, that helps them get excellent credit history without having to do anything. I'm just going to continue to use my card, and they're going to continue to reap the benefit. So there are so many creative ways that you can use out there to have a great credit score. And even if your credit score is not great, still go buy a house. Just don't stay there. Just don't keep bad credit. But at least don't hold back on buying a house. You have the money. Most of you, I talk to you, you're in the IT field, you're making six-figure. One of you here, you are a nurse practitioner. You're making over $100,000 a year. You're making six-figure. You have money. You saved $60,000 in your bank account. You saved $100,000 in your bank account. I spoke with one of you. You saved $300,000 in your bank account. Basically, with your $300,000, I can help you buy 6 investment properties right now. I can help you buy 6 investment properties with just $40,000 down on each one of them, and then $10,000 in closing costs. That is $50,000. And with $300,000, we buy 6 of them. So basically, if you're only making $500 in cash flow every month on each one of the properties, that is $3,000 every month. When your money stays in the bank, how much do you make per month from that money? About 5 cents, $1. How much do you make per year? Maybe $2. Do not keep money in your bank. Keeping money in your bank is the most stupid thing that you can do, because the bank is using your money, lending it, making more money, and you're getting poorer. Why? Because the same $100 that you had 5 years ago, can you buy the same thing today with $100? So you're keeping $300,000 in your bank account. 1 year from now, 5 years from now, do you think you can still buy the same houses that I just mentioned for the same amount of money? No. It's going to increase, but did your money increase? No, by $1, $5 a year. Do not keep money in your bank account. Invest your money. That's how you're going to make more money. And you can't become wealthy with your job. You can't become wealthy by trading your time for money. You can't become wealthy by working for someone else the rest of your life. You can't become wealthy just by having a business alone. You have to have a business. You also have to invest that business money so that the money can work for you. That's how you make more money, because your business can shut down at any time. Your employees can stop coming to work. You, if you're a lawyer, you might be sick one day and you don't go to court. How are you going to make money? If you're a doctor, you don't go to the hospital, you don't see your patients. How are you going to make money? But when you have your money working for you, you don't have to worry about it. Your money is at work. I always tell you guys, I bought my first property in 2012. That was 11 years ago, and it was $200,000. I sold it for $400,000 8 years later. I didn't do anything on the house. I did not upgrade anything. I didn't change the roof, didn't change anything. I didn't add anything. The deck was already there. Everything was same as I bought the house. And I sold it for double the price that I bought it for. But I lived in that house. I also had tenants in that house. And the tenants were giving me $3,000 per month. I was renting per rooms to make more money. That is $3,000 per month. Think about it. 1 year, how much is that? $36,000. And that is $36,000 times how many years that I had the house before selling it 8 years later. Please do not lag behind because you're saying that your credit score is bad. It doesn't matter what your credit score is. There is a loan out there for you. Contact me right now for that. So that was the first lie that you tell yourself, is that your credit score is bad. You can't get a loan. No, there are ways around that. There are even loans out there that don't check your credit score. If you didn't know, there are some loans out there, they don't check your credit score. They don't care about it. Call me and ask me about it. I'll connect you with the lenders. There are many types of lenders out there. They offer different types of product. Okay? The second lie that you tell yourself, giving yourself reasons why, excuses, not even reasons, excuses as to why you're not buying a house or an investment property. The second lie that you're telling yourself is that you don't have enough money. Tell me. Some of you are veterans. Some of you are in the military. Can you tell me, in the military, if you are approved for a VA loan and you have your VA package, what is your reason for not buying a house when you say that you don't have money? Don't you have a salary? As a veteran, you have 0% down payment option. If you're putting 0% down payment, what is the reason why you're not buying a house? Even if you're not in the military, even if you're not a veteran, did you know that credit unions out there, one of them being, I think, NASA Federal Credit Union. NASA Federal Credit Union gives you a 0% down payment loan. Did you know that? Some of you, if you were to have a house now, you will be able to afford your monthly payment. But what you cannot afford is the down payment, because you need about 3% down payment. You need about 5% down payment. So if you have a 0% down payment, now can you tell me what's the reason now why you're not buying your investment, your first house? Why are you still renting when there's 0% down payment out there? Now, let's put aside a 0% down payment. There are programs out there. Some of them allow you to get home loans or mortgage assistance that will help you with your closing costs. Some of them will help you with your mortgage, your down payment, I'm sorry. And some of them will give you up to $15,000 in assistance. Why are you not using that? Today, I just closed on a property with a builder. My client was buying a brand new build house. She's going to be the first to enter in the house in 2023. And the builder gave her $15,000 in closing cost assistance. Why are you not buying a house? You can't tell me it's because you don't have money. because there are ways for you to finance the house. Now, some of you already own a house, and I'm asking you, buy investment properties. That's how you make money. To build generational wealth, you can't rely on your 9 to 5 job. 9 to 5 job. Even if you're getting paid $150,000, even if you have 2 jobs, what if you're sick? What if you can't work anymore? What's going to happen? Your children cannot inherit your job. They're going to have nothing because you no longer have a salary. But if you're using the money you're making right now, your 6 figure, and you're buying investment properties, your children will always have something. You will have generational wealth. Now, if you already have a house, it's likely that your house has money because you have equity in your house. A lot of my clients, they get money out of their equity. One of my clients just got $200,000 out of the house that she bought, and she's using that $200,000. She's going to buy 4 investment properties. What is your excuse? What is your excuse? There are ways out there to finance your loan if you want a home loan today. Please contact me and ask me questions about it. Schedule a session with me, a free session with me, but only if you're serious, only if you really want to purchase a house. If you just want to be fooling around and you just lonely and bored and you just want to talk to somebody, please don't call me. My time is valuable. As you can see, I am tired. I spend the whole day very busy, but I'm here talking to you. So please contact me only if you're serious. Okay? Now, the third lie that you tell yourself as to why you're not buying a house is that the interest rate is high or the home prices are high. Okay? That you're telling me the market is not conducive to purchasing properties at this time, and you're waiting for a crash. Let me tell you this. The client that I just told you about, that just got $200,000 in home equity loan to buy investment properties, she bought her house in the heart of 2008, 2007, 2008 recession, housing market crash. That's when she bought her house. She bought that house at that time, maybe for, I think, $300,000 or something like that. The house is now valued at about $500,000. When the market crashed, the value of her house went down a little bit, but then over time, it kept going back up, 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 up. Now it went back up to the 300,000. It surpassed the 300,000, and now the value is at 500,000. And the bank, the lender, gave her 200,000 out of that money. Why? Because now the value is at 500,000, but she doesn't owe 300,000 on the house. She owes barely 200 something because she's been paying that since 2007. That is about 16 years. So if in 2007 she told herself that, the housing market is really not good right now, the prices are high. If she was saying that, what would have happened? The 200,000 that she has now, that she's going to buy 4 properties with, she will not have that. So you telling me that the interest rates are high? The interest rate right now, it's about 6% if you have excellent credit. If you have poor credit, it will be probably 7%. And even if it's 8%, interest rate were 19% at one point in the past, and people were still buying houses. So even at 8%, it's not that bad. If you're gonna live in that house, your question should be, can I afford this house? If the interest rate was 3%, you could probably afford a $400,000 house. But now that the interest rate is 8%, maybe, or 7% or 6%, maybe you're only going to afford a $250,000 house. Go out there and buy that $250,000 house. Do not sit down waiting for a market crash. This is the worst decision that you could ever make. The only people that should worry about a crash right now are those who do house flipping. If you do house flipping, that means you buy a house, it's in bad condition, it's in bad shape. You repair the house, you renovate the house, you upgrade the house, and then you put it back on the market, and you charge a little bit more to make money. Okay? So if there's a crash, you're gonna be affected. Why? Because If you buy a house at 200,000, you renovate the house for 50,000 and you're hoping to sell the house at 350,000, but turns out that you can only sell the house for 300,000 or $250,000, you will be operating at almost a loss because there was a cost for the money that you put in the house, right? So you'll probably be operating at a loss. And it can even be lower than that. But it's not a good idea to go and do house flipping when the market is unstable. But it doesn't matter how the market is. If we can find you a house and we do the math and we see that with your interest rate, with the house, the price of the house, you can spend exactly what you're spending right now on your rent, go and buy that house. Having your house is going to give you multiple benefits. Number one, when you file your taxes today, when we were closing on the property for my client, the closing attorney was telling her, you're going to save on your taxes with something called homestead tax. With the homestead, as long as you show that the house is your primary residence, it reduces your taxes, your tax burden at the end of the year. So all of you making six-figure and paying taxes to the government, first of all, because you're earning a salary, your taxes are higher. You're being taxed about 30% or 35%. An investor is being taxed only about 20% or something. Some investors are being taxed only 10%, and some of them are not even paying anything. It depends on how you do your taxes. But if you're out there only working 9 to 5, making 150,000, and then you have 2 jobs, 3 jobs, 4 jobs, 6 jobs, 10 jobs, you're having all of those jobs, but then you're paying all of those taxes. Just by buying a house, you get the homestead tax. So that reduces your tax burden, number one. Number two, you depreciate the house if you're using it as an investment property or something like that. It's a depreciation. You can get some tax benefit with that, with the depreciation. Number three, the house is gaining more value, it's appreciating. So the same house I told you I bought at 200,000, I sold it at 400,000 8 years later. And the statistics show that houses double in value in average every 10 years. Okay. So if you buy a house for 200,000, within the next 10 years, it's going to double. That is $200,000 that I made in 8 years without doing anything. Like I said, I didn't do anything on the house. You guys, you're having your money, you put it in a bank account, comme un grand-père au village, like my grandma. You just want to look at your money every day and be happy. And then when you call your friends, you tell your friends, oh, you know how much money I have in my bank account? I have $300,000 in my bank account. You are broke. Because 10 years from now, your $300,000 cannot buy you anything. I usually have almost nothing in my bank account. That way, when somebody comes crying, oh, can you help me with this? Can you help me with that? I don't have money. All my money is invested. Anything that I have liquid is for my emergency fund. I do not keep money in the bank account because I'm not about to make the bank richer. Okay? So stop telling yourself that, oh, the interest rate is high, the home prices are high. It depends on why you're buying a house. I remember that one of you asked me, Coach, is this a good time to buy a house? Okay. And another person asked me, Coach, since the interest rates are high and the home prices are high, should I wait and buy later? Speak to people around you. You're going to see many people that have been waiting since 2020 trying to buy a house. Every time they say what? Oh, the prices are high. The prices are high. And what happens? As they continue to say that the prices are high, prices are getting higher. And people are making money. I just told you, I bought this house in December 2021. That was a year ago. Now the house has gained about $150,000 in equity. That is $150,000 more money to my net worth without me having to do anything. I don't know. Is there something out there that you can do? Like, let's say, is there a nothing out there that you can do that will give you $150,000 in 1 year? Tell me, what are the things that you can do? Even if you become a prostitute, you still have to sleep with somebody to make that money. Even if you become a thief, you're going to have to go and break a bank or steal money or do whatever or be a fee man, like I see a lot of people out there as scammers, you're going to have to go and scam someone, which means you have to sit down and start thinking, what should I do to scam this person to make money in order to make the $150,000? But what did I do? I bought a house. I live in the house. I enjoy the house. My family enjoys the house. In the meantime, my net worth increased by $150,000 with just this one house. And I purchased many other houses. Just imagine each one of those houses appreciating about $100,000 each. I did a presentation last year. I showed some of the investment properties that I purchased. One of them was $135,000. My first investment property that I bought just for investment, for rental, to put a tenant in. I bought it for $135,000 or $140,000. I don't remember exactly. And the tenant is paying me $1,900 a month, and my mortgage is $900. Listen to me. The house was just $135,000 or $140,000. I don't remember exactly. You're gonna ask me, but coach, where can you find a house for $140,000? There are houses out there. I found a condo in Silver Spring a few days ago, Silver Spring, Maryland, for $100,000, $99,000. Now, yeah, they have condo fees and have all kinds of stuff, but that's $100,000. If you have somebody in there paying you $2,000 a month, and that's Silver Spring, $2,000 a month is cheap. If you have someone in there paying you $2,000, don't you think that's a good cash flow? Like if you pay the mortgage, if you don't have a mortgage, you pay cash instead of keeping $300,000 in your bank accounts like you guys are doing. Many of you right now, you're watching me and you're keeping money in the bank account to be happy. Don't you think it would be good to have that cash flow every month? That's the reason why I'm the cash flow queen, because I do not keep money in the bank. I keep money in assets, and those assets give me money. When I want to go to a Chanel store, if I want to go to a Chanel store and buy a brooch like this one, it's going to cost me $700. I do not take $700 from my bank account to go pay for the Chanel brooch. All I do is I just take one of the tenants. If the tenant is paying me $2,000 and the mortgage is $1,000, I take $300 and I put it in all the money that I put aside in case I need repair, in case of any emergency on that property or anything like that. I put that money on the side, and then the $700 I can go buy me a brooch, a Chanel brooch if I want, an authentic one, right? We all like great stuff, we like nice stuff, but we go buy fake ones. Why? Because we don't want to learn how to make money so that we can buy authentic stuff. Now you're going to say, oh, Coach Lisa is bragging. I don't care. I can brag. I work hard to be able to brag. Look at me. I'm tired, but I'm here talking to you because I don't want to be here building wealth by myself. Now, some of you are going to insult me and be like, oh, not everybody wants to be a millionaire. Okay, no problem. But there's going to be one of you. If there's only one of you right now, many of you are watching, or about 50 of you on Facebook, YouTube, all of that. If you're watching me right now and you want to join the millionaire movement, just put #millionaire movement. And I'm going to personally reach out to you if you're not yet in the millionaire movement, because I see many of you here are already in the millionaire movement. So if you're not yet in the millionaire movement, meaning you're not investing in the stock market so that you can build wealth, meaning you're not investing in real estate so that you can build generational wealth, I need you to type #millionaire movement. I'm going to find you myself. I'm not going to send an assistant. I'm going to contact you myself. I'm going to give you free coaching and show you how to start investing in real estate or investing in the stock market. White people are out there making money. Black people are still lagging behind. Guess what? Indian people are now even wealthier than some of those white people. Why? Because they know how to invest in the right things. When you're going out there and working in IT, they're working in IT. But when they make their $150,000 a year, They do not take that and start buying Chanel and Louis Vuitton and Gucci, or go to Cameroon and date 20 girls at the same time and be flaunting money around all the events and buying all the big thrones to sit on and look great at events. That's not how they spend their money. They invest their money. And when they invest the money, they get the cash flow, and that's what they use to do anything or to buy anything that they want to buy. So that's the message that I had for you tonight. It was going to be a very short one. So if you have a question, feel free to shoot your question. But please do not find a reason to, or find excuses for not buying a house. Number one lie was that your credit score is bad. And I told you, there are lenders out there, even with a 500 credit score, they will still approve you for a house. If you can't find one, come talk to me. I'll find you one. 580, you can even get an FHA loan with 580 credit score. So you, for 3 years, 5 years, you're telling me, Coach, I'm working on my credit score. That doesn't mean anything. By the time you're done working on your credit score next year, you're not going to be able to afford the houses that are going to be available next year. Second lie that you tell yourself is that you don't have money. Some of you are veterans. Some of you are in the army. Some of you, you are in credit unions. They're offering 0% down payment. What is your reason for not taking advantage of the 0% down payment? There are closing cost assistants out there. My client just got $15,000 today. What is your reason? She bought a brand new house, 2023. She's going to be the first person to be in that house. And she got $15,000 from the builder. And she got a lower interest rate from the builder's lender. What is your reason? What's your reason? So please stop telling me that the interest rates are high, the market is going to crash. You are not a house flipper. You're not buying houses to flip them. You're buying houses to live in them. Just make the math. Make sure the maths work. If the maths look better than renting, stop renting. Get a house. Even if it's small, you're going to put tenants in it later and go to your dream house. If it's for investment, it doesn't matter. You're not going to pay for that interest rate. The tenants are going to pay for that interest rate. What is your problem? If you're buying a house now, an investment property with me, if that investment property is $250,000, if your mortgage is going to be $1,600, but you're going to rent out the house for $2,500, that's $900. What's your excuse? Please reach out to me today if you want to build generational wealth. This was the Cash Flow Queen, your millionaire realtor, your millionaire investor. And as always, go out there, achieve your dreams. Yes, it's possible, and yes, you can. Bye, everyone.